Sorry about that, folks. I had to go into part two. Uh, so anyway, where I was at on as far as this dark side being exposed, there's going to be a lot of exposure. It's happening already. It's been happening, but this year is very important in that respect. Um, there's a lot of people suffering over things being done to them in the spirit, whether they realize it or not. And I think this is you know, people don't realize, the ones that do realize what's going on don't have any idea on how to battle it. And you know, so I'll give you a resolution that I use for it, uh, because it can't touch you. If things are touching you, these curses or whatever, people are doing to you, and whether you realize it or not. um, they're trying to induct people, and is trying to take over people in your families and things like that. This past year, I know there's been a lot of attacks on families and love, actually love. Okay, it's attacking love, and uh, whether you believe in it or not, it's going on, and you just don't realize what's happening. You maybe things going on that you figured, I don't know what happened. I don't know what went on. I don't know what. I'm totally dismayed. I don't know what happened. Well, this is what's happening. And, you're going to believe it, sooner or later. And hopefully it's sooner rather than later. Uh, but I think, the way to battle it, the best way to battle it is to, realize for one that what you're going through, or what it is, and walk in the respect that you have no fear. Okay, you can't have fear of it, because if you do, you open the door. You open the door to it to enter your life. Um, so I think if you walk with the realization of your fear of it, you lose the fear. Okay, so walk without the fear so that the door remains shut. You understand? Uh, That way you can walk among it, because you're walking among it anyway. As soon as you walk out your door, even within your house, your own house. I mean, there's things going on that you don't even know. You have to clear your house also. Uh, People give you an object. You know what I mean? Uh, for those that believe, even those that don't, people give you an object. Okay, anything. It may be anything, a little trinket, a necklace, or anything, a present, something, and they give you an object. First thing you ought to do is, within yourself, is clear it of any dark connotations. Okay, and in the name of the Spirit, do that. All right. If you tend on keeping it, uh, and putting it in your house, because otherwise you've got you've got dark connotations on everything. There's all kinds of things in your house right now that's probably has dark connotations that are affecting you. Okay, uh, I know there's a lot of people don't believe in that, but it's true. Whether you believe in it or not, it's true, and you just gotta clear your house. You can clear it as a whole. Walk through your house and claim it. You know, and remove all those connotations, remove those spirits. You understand? For this new year, people, for this new year, and try it. You know what I mean? What do you got to lose except negativity? I mean, You got nothing to lose. You know, is it breaking your pride to walk through your house and remove all connotations in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ, and whatever? You know what I mean? However you want to look at it, it's bigger than you are, people. You know what I mean? There's things out there bigger than you. There's things out there you can't control. You know, and you can't deny that. You know, you can't deny that. You can't deny the fact there's things going on spiritually and things that you can't control. You know, you want to call it mental, you want to call it scientific, you want to, I don't know what you want to call it. You know, whatever makes you feel better. You know, it's ridiculous how people think it's only this. This is all there is. It's what there. This is it. You know what I mean? Uh, there's no God, there's no this, there's no that, but you sure believe in the devil, you know? You know, these devil worshippers and all this other people that are, you know, working in the dark side, working with these warlocks and witches and diviners and man, evil tarot card readers, you know what I mean? Uh Not all of them. There's some good ones, you know, but astrology's been around. There's people scared of astrology. You know, astrology's been around since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? The Lord claimed astrology. It's not that you live by it. You know, that's what makes it dark. If you start living by all these things, you know, you know, fortune cookies and stuff like that. You read something and you start living by that. You know, that's a different story. But you know, planets do align. You know, planets do align, and planets do have uh, uh, a certain power. You know, there's a power in the earth. There's a power of the moon. You know, on a full moon, you'll see the waves of the ocean are, you know, the gravity pull is different. And, I mean, that's power. That's the power you can't see. So tell me, what are you believing in? You know, you don't believe the moon's got power. You don't believe, you know, uh, the earth has got power, you know, polarity, magnetism, all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's real. So, you know, you can deny it all you want, but there's powers that you can't see, but you can feel them and you see them and they're in action. Whether you realize it or not, that's your own ignorance, you know, or not, you know. So same with this darkness, this dark side, you know, there's a lot of things going on out there, you know. Your neighbor could have a hate for you. You don't even know that. You know, maybe your neighbor just got a jealousy. Just you don't even know them, but they've got a jealousy towards you, and they're diviners or they're workers of dark arts, and they're sending dark things your way. You know what I mean? Why not protect yourself just in case? Just in case it's real. Okay, for those that are in total denial, just in case it's real and see, you know, what do you got to lose? That's why I say clean your house, clear your house, you know, clear your house and see if there's a difference, you know. And when you go through and you claim all these connotations to leave your house, open your door and kick them out. Actually, kick them out. You know, you may walk around and laugh at yourself because you act like a crazy person walking through your house talking to nothing. Well, maybe you are talking to something. You know what I mean? Maybe you are talking to something. You just don't see it. But, you know, if your pride gets in the way of yourself and, you know, deal with it. You know what I mean? I happen to know better myself. I got stories that blow your mind, but of course, you know, you wouldn't believe them because they're sci-fi or I'm crazy, you know, but whatever. Uh, I know the reality of it and I know the results of it, whether I did or I didn't. You know, I know the results, and the results were definitely real. So, uh, you know, man, I can think of some right now I'd like to tell you, but I don't even want to get off into that. But I'll tell you, there's some weird stuff, man, that goes on, some strange things, you know, and you can't explain them, not in reality because it doesn't make sense, you know, but spiritually it does. So, this year is very important, people, is the point. And I think, you know, to start it off with a clean slate within yourself, you know, is the best solution. And these resolutions, you know, I don't think they're good for you. You know, you do what you want to do, but I don't think you should make a resolution. I'll make a New Year's resolution. I'm going to be, you know, this, or I'm going to stop this, or whatever. And then you don't, you know, what, like I say, what's it do for you? You know what I mean? It's better to aspire to be that, or not be that, or stop that, or whatever, and let it work. You know, let it work. As long as you keep it in mind, it'll happen. You manifest it. Okay. It's a year of manifestation. And those that do believe in it, I'm telling you, it's a year of manifestation. You can think it, you can make it happen. You can make it happen, but you've got to be behind it. You've got to stand behind it spiritually. You got to stand behind it. And those that don't believe, they're going to watch you and they're going to wonder why. How's that person doing this? How's that happening for them? How is this that? You know, they're not as good as I am. You know, I've seen them do worse things than I do, and that blah 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 blah, this and that. You know, it's just excuses they make for themselves. You know what I mean? Uh, but don't worry about that. You know, don't worry about that.